I am back. We're exactly where we left off. So we're still in, Nina's room. I'm gonna slouch you. Thank you for the head pat. I'm looking at this and like, is my model calibrated? Okay. This maybe? Oh, hey. What happened last night? I don't know. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? Oh, don't I usually move this, like, up a little? I think so. Or, like, over. I'm gonna move it over. Because I kind of need to be able to see. Am I usually up here for Ace Attorney? I don't know. Why do I not remember? Am I out of the way now? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh. That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking? Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded? I love Sholmes. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened. Miss Pavlova? Is there anything you could tell us? Oh, hi-yo! Ace Attorney Day. I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. That's right, because she ran away from the ballet company. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. Wait, now I need to, like, insult past raid. Because I think this is the best way to go about it. Wow. It was like the week before last. I don't think I streamed a lot last week. And the Ace Attorney streams, to be fair, are, less busy. Just as a whole. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of moved my box over. I honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna stream this whole game. But I like it a lot. So we're doing it. I'm sorry you have to listen to me read. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. We'll start a new life. Do you wish to forget? A challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder. That's right, she took that with her. But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of this ship, they've all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure. Said? Oh, the only Ace Attorney stream you saw is from Bay. Bay's been playing, like, the Phoenix Wright trilogy. This is before that. This is also probably, at least as far as I know, some of the less popular games. I don't think it was available outside of Japan until the Switch port in, like, 2021 or 22? Is that when this game came out? Until this version of it. But I do recommend. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. No, Phoenix. No, this is before Phoenix. It has plenty of charm, though. My model is wanting to be laggy today. Behave. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Burya stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it. Of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard. I mean, he didn't want to talk to us in general. It's not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. He's hiding a couple things, that guy. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry? What was that? It's how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here, too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. No, so the, there's the Phoenix Wright trilogy, and then I think it's called the Apollo Justice trilogy, but technically one game you are playing as a girl named Athena instead. And then the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles are a pair of games, and then there's Ace Attorney Investigations, which you play as Miles Edgeworth, who is a good boy. So, you definitely play as several people. The idea is pretty similar. This does not have spirit mediums though, like the Phoenix Wright trilogy does, or even some of the quirks, shall we say, of everyone else. Apollo and Athena are both super charming. Actually, I think it was one of the Apollo Justice games, like, I was actually really unsettled by the ending. I was very shook by the plot twist. Maybe we'll play that someday, I don't know. I mean, to Ryunosuke. But I don't know a lot about, like, Phoenix's background, like his family background. But Ryunosuke Naruhodo is, I think, supposed to be an ancestor of Phoenix Wright. Oh, we talked about this once on the first stream. And somebody was lecturing me. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. English isn't our tongue either. Mr. Sholmes once said, I can never resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. Sholmes is a great character. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, yes, Mr. Shoei. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Very helpful. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Well, please, don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious... then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah. So reassuring, Mr. Schultz. What sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it? No. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ha! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. This man has the social awareness of a brick. Really? Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Okay, have we examined the room? I don't think so. I don't think she let us. Let me see. Don't touch. Okay. She forbids. Okay, what vulgar manners do you have? My bad. Hypocrite. Wasn't he, like, inside this wardrobe? Well, then fine. We'll go back. Technically, we can show her everything. I don't think she'll have much to say about it, but... Can I show you this? I'm actually a university student from the Empire of Japan, you see. That means nothing to me. No, why would it? Mr. Naruhodo, if you're determined to flaunt your Yume badge, at least choose a Japanese person who might recognize it. Miss Suzato, can I show you this? Maybe later? Oh, I could show Inspector Hosonaga too! Miss Pavlova, would you take a look at this? I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm glad that was a unique response to the badge. I want to smack this man upside the head. What? Ryunosuke? Because to be fair, I did make him say a couple stupid things. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. One looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. There it is. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh. Hmm. Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. What the- Yes? What? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. Alright. I will come now. What? You must leave. Now. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott. Get out. The passenger said out. Or do you want me to throw you out? Oh. Looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. Pity indeed. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Oh, we were right at the to be continued? My bad. If I had realized it was like 10 more minutes of talking, I would have just done it last time. My bad. Well. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. It's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh yes, he's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. Well, we've looked at most things. Can I try to look at this now? That book on top of the table there is really huge. There's a pen with it, too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Do we have a little look through it? We can look. I think we weren't allowed to last time. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Maybe I did look at that. This feels familiar. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. The door. That door leads to the second class area. It's locked. I can't open it. No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape. Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. It's not me. Hi. Let's chat. I really wish we'd had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin. What? Why you look like that? Do you want something? Maybe you want me to throw you out again? Oh, no. Definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. Well, not a bummer. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside of the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? Small is the wardrobe I've been calling home. Yeah, I want something. A cookie. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any new clues. We should probably go ahead and talk to him. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. Why don't we do that? It looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes. On that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh. Yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Do I have to? Okay, no. I don't think I can talk to this one. There. Well. I feel like he might not have been exaggerating. Oh, you're back. Inspector? What happened to you? Your face is... Poor glasses. Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Lead by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Sherlock Sholmes. I don't think it was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? He cares a lot about this. Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is surely unrelated to the case, at least. Surely? How is that? Oh? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops. Now I've definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh? What? Yes, do tell us, Inspector. Please. New information? What is this new information you have, Inspector? Forgot. It's this. The Burya's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh. Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. We miss Kazuma. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet. But the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests that it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. Blunt... Oh, I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility. No obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. Poor Kazuma! I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. Oh. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? I'm gonna look at that really quick. Oh, I could've just... Sometime between 1 AM and a little past 2. And then I talk to him again. The great detective. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he? Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Ah, yes, that must be it. But how can Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red, then. Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. You repaired the guy's shoes? What kind of legal assistant are you? Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? Mark on the floor has been entered into the court record? That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. He should really worry about that. He really should. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. Oh, no. Well... I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is... I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I awoke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Headache, go Bert. What else can we look at? This is where Kazuma spent his final moments writing his diary. That's just what the diary says. It's possible to believe he's gone. He did leave us a valuable clue. So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor. And they spelled the Russian word for wardrobe. It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there. But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelled out my name, don't you think? Well, either way, one fact remains. Hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words. or a word, and Russian. Which begs the question of who did write it. Who indeed? And look at this. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are. Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. Mostly everything. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin neatly arranged on the shelf. They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you? Indeed we did. You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well, anyway, I feel much better now they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Where did you go? Oh, sorry. I just went to the next door cabin to... oh? Who gave me permission for this? Well, it's... I mean, Sieb and Hosonaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Later, I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. Poor guy. Oh, he's gone back to guarding the door. I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san. Yes. So she is the judicial assistant. Can we look at everything? We need to look at this again. It really is such a beautiful color, this glass. It looks like whatever it was is broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's the brick-colored mark, which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish, not something else? Because he's a great detective, of course. That's hardly a reason, is it? What have we not looked at that we need to? These are the rules of passage. When you're her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. She has. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes. Although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think. Indeed, but what? Look at everything? I feel like we looked at everything. I forget what was the situation here exactly. What do you mean I forget? Yeah, so... meh. That stop happening. So the first chapter was a trial sequence where Ryunosuke, the character that we're playing as, was accused of murder. Again. Well, the first time, rather. And Kazuma, his best friend, helped us out. And in this second case, we are on our way to England. Kazuma was supposed to be going to study abroad, with Susato as his assistant. And we were snuck along for the ride. But Kazuma is dead. And we've been accused of murder for the second time. Because we were in the wardrobe. This chapter basically serves to show you, like, how the investigation sequences work. So you can think of it like tutorial, but also plot. Again. which, I'm not gonna lie, will also happen in Chapter 3. But that's okay. Unfortunate wrong place at the wrong time. Well, and Kazuma also has some mission that he was going to tell us about, but he never did, so I don't know what he wanted exactly. Look, Naruhodo-san. Steven Stroganoff is gone. Strong enough? A burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us. We're trying to figure out what happened to Kazuma. Because the door was locked, and we were the only other person there, but we were, like, asleep in the wardrobe. It was not us. Ugh, all these Russian names are impossible to remember. But this means... Tra-la-la. Tra-la-la. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. I did it the great detective way. Naruhodo. I mean, that is his last name. This caroling. I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Right, definitely, before that stringy knot crewman comes back. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. Oh wait, I had the wrong button. I done goofed. Actually, I can show you everybody that we've met thus far. And there's Kazuma, who was on his way to London when he died. Susato, who is our judicial assistant, well, his judicial assistant, but currently our assistant. Sherlock Holmes. Satoru Hosonaga, who was supposed to be guarding Kazuma, but that didn't quite work out. Biff Stroganoff. Ryunosuke's last name is Naruhodo, yes. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Case is open though. Susato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to. We're gonna look through everything. The last time we were in here, we didn't get to look at anything. So we will look at all of it. All the stuff's knocked over. All the books have toppled over together, look. Every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin. Kazuma-sama? We miss Kazuma in this house. Kazuma was a good boy. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know? Thank you for the hand pat. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Well, we'll fix that. We have a few things we can look at. Desk. There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Let me see. Yes. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. I kind of love when she gives you sass, not gonna lie. I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san! It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know? Those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly! We have no choice. We have choices, but it's fine. There's hardly anything in here at all. Oh. Well, that's a little disappointing. It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people. Or because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make tea yet? I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san? To be fair, I know Tolmir kind of doesn't like Susato. She didn't bring evidence that we needed. That if she hadn't given that to us, we would have been convicted for murder last time, so... there is that. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Ah! Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What? A leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Let's have a look at this box. Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside. But according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. I think we get another deduction with Sholmes. I hope we do. But I do not remember. Yes, a friend she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. Yeah, me too. And more to the point, where is it now? It's the rules of passage. Let's play in this cabin too, look. Forbidden. Special friend. I wonder where her friend has disappeared to. Oh, they're going crazy for that leak. Probably about exploring the ship. Final Destination movies. Let's see. Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry? I'm right here, yes? Why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see. Well, anyway. I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. Full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. How did she have time to take all of those? Also, there's like 4 of them in this picture, not gonna lie. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Oh. How about up here? So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door. Excuse me, what was that exchange of dialogue? Welcome to Ace Attorney. You missed the From the first chapter, the like, youngsters are forever asserting their rights, a most disturbing trend. I accidentally skipped the we must all speak English, which is fine. I feel like that would have been a clip. There was a bit of dialogue about Ryunosuke's fly being down, and how that brought shame to everyone. What else? What other weird stuff have we said? Sholmes wanted to kick the door down to this cabin. I think Susanna was just on something. No. I think Sholmes says the weirder things. Hello. Watching a couple streams. Although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Why? Maybe. Maybe. I never played this game. I love this game. I love these games, but this is probably one of my favorite ones. But I have played, I think, every Ace Attorney that's out, apart from the Professor Layton crossover one. Usually when I play visual novels, they're Otome games. They're either Otome games or Ace Attorney games. One of the two. Although I don't usually stream Otome games. I get kind of awkward. And the last time I streamed an Otome game, I think Tolver hated the protagonist. Or he hated every single romance option that we had. He made sure I do this. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. Hey, he heard a weird noise, and then he saw a weird thing, and we don't know what it was. There's one of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin, too. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist. She barely hesitated there. She gave it a good tug, too. They were all different levels of shitty people. Well, I mean, in Cupid Parasite, they are kind of... like, they're all at that marriage agency because they couldn't meet a girl. To be fair, one of them was also, like, a demon, if I remember correctly. And one was the president of the company because he was lying about being married. That game was a trip. It was fun. It was very colorful. I never did actually finish it. Not every route, anyways. But I should probably back the 8th turn. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. Oh, that's the door. This cabin door is the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody can enter the cabin from outside. Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it? No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside. And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door, either. I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. We looked at everything. Do we have anything else we can look at? I'm pretty sure at some point Sholmes will be hanging off of these. What is the psychic in this boat? Oh. See, I like this game for the different locations. She does say sometimes wherever we need to go to the next one, I feel like we need to go here, or we haven't been here in a while. That helps when I'm being a fool. Why don't we have a look around? Man, something seems a little different, don't you think? Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look! Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. Oh yeah, there's the- I did it the great detective way? You did what? He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us? Why is bro staring so close? Sholmes is one of a kind. He's very goofy, and you'll find him in many strange looks throughout the game. Or he's simply in extremely high spirits. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. I still singing. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it all and I still don't. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes? What is it, you want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Bruh. I told you, Tolbert, that you wouldn't like him. Why did he fall backwards and hit the frame 1 combat stance? Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in study of the ship's log as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here. Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 AM this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... Oh. You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem that the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report. Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? Why does nobody know? That remains a mystery for now. We can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes. Brilliance. Oh, Sholmes. Ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Everybody has a headache this morning. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. Oh, bye. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? How suspicious. I don't think there's anything more to be gained here. Forget what was the situation here exactly. I was expecting him to collapse immediately after saying that. What? What's that? Something in the air. Something in the food. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile forward. Full stop. Hard to starboard. Hard to starboard. Are we braced for impact, Chad? What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. I don't think we want her to be holding on to- well, okay. Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think. Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Look at that! The door's bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? Well, yeah. I better tidy this place up first. Why am I cleaning her room? Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. Now I'll let the inspector out. Let the inspector in. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Are we to be continued again? The cliffhanger. Except I'm continuing to stream, yeah. I will save. When I play the trial sequences, I save probably too often. Less so in the inspections. Unless we're doing the deduction with Sholmes, in which case I save pretty often then too. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. I guess it's a good thing we were in here so we could open it again. That's the end of the chapter. It's not the end of the chapter. Not yet. It's the end of the chapter after we solved this thing, dang it. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. You! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Well, at least somebody's happy to see us. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. Except here. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Thankfully for us, it is generally the same. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean... that someone pressed that button outside? You wicked intruder dressed all in black. You're the devil. Sorry? Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. Well, I mean, we did touch it because we picked it up off the floor, but sure, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector? Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He's a criminal. Is it not enough that he's killed a man? And he's a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She's right. You are devil. Doesn't look good, does it? There's cell below decks. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Well, why don't we look around and talk to people? Wait, is this what... I don't even... I'm just gonna pretend I saw nothing. Let's see what everyone says. You got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry. I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. Why and how is bro here? I told you, he just kind of shows up in very goofy ways. It's part of his great detectiving. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. Alright, fine, we'll talk to him. What the? What are you doing up there? Andy's wearing the tiara now. Mr. Schultz? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Suspiciously shaped shawls hanging on a coat hanger. Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. Is the value of the crown that the tiara he's wearing? I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the walls full of brag and bounce. He wanted to fight that hook on the wall. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again. The great detective. Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally. Bro's trying to fight an inanimate object. Films is something else, man. I know. He's one of a kind. He actually has an assistant of his own. They're also one of a kind, but that's for later. That's for another day. What? Really? I mean, the first section of this, Sholmes said that Ryunosuke was a Russian revolutionary on the run. So there was that. Yes, I've eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. Somehow I feel like we're gonna do a deduction and he's gonna say something really weird. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. I love the music during this sequence, though. You've solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. Hedgehog? We all knew who was responsible for killing a student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. No. Sholmes' assistant is not blood related to Sholmes. It is a stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. I've been meaning to ask. What? Want to take a drink while you mean to ask? Oh no, don't ask Ryunosuke. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh! Locked room! That is point! The room was locked? Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. Are we so sure about that? You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door. It's not a so-called locked room at all. Why is the Russian sailor's head shaped like a soup can? Ryunosuke is just an innocent creature that cannot and has not done harm. He is a good boy. He's a very wholesome being. What? Oh yes. There's another entrance. An entrance used last night. Momo! Thank you for the raid! Hello, Blossom Buds! Is Trollbeer having the shout out? I don't know. Blossom Bud raid! What were you guys doing? I don't know if he's hitting the button. Ohio! Hello guys, my name is Rain. If you do not know me, I am a lunar goddess VTuber. My cat ears today. Thank you, Trollbeer. You were just chatting. I hope your stream was good. If you have any post-stream stuff you have to do, you have to raid and run, thank you for trusting me with your chat. Yay! I'm so glad. I hope it was a good stream. Yeah, how has it been? I will keep reading. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Oh, and we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is a prequel to the Phoenix Wright trilogy. So it comes before the Ace Attorney that you're probably thinking of. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man. The ventilator? You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arms through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? Yay! I hope you had a good trip, Momo. If you guys have not met Momo from my chat, she has the cutest models. They're very adorable. Momo is like how I found love too. And I am very lucky for it. Norigato. Thank you for the head pets. It's not possible? It's more possible than you think. Ah, but it is. And last night, The victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? Hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of... I love this series. This is one of my favorites. I'm so glad I started playing these. I had never played one until the Switch releases, so I missed out on Ace Attorney for a really long time. But I am here now, and I am here for it. Looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Lots of cats in the stream today. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. I haven't played any Professor Layton games. I need to try one. Their collab game is like the only Ace Attorney thing I haven't played. I've done the other trilogies. I've done the Investigations collection. And this collection. I'm a fan of this series. There's a distinct element of danger. But fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! What the? Oh. Well. Is it friendly? Can I pet it? Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The Speckled Band. I feel like he might be a little off on this one. Also, it's just around his face and he does not care. Indubitably. A snake. It makes me wonder about something. No one expected this. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the Stripes Band, wouldn't you? You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap in which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? It's a trap for sure. How exactly? Trap laid out by the snake. Very carefully. A very sneaky guy. I think perhaps it is time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Thank you for the raid again, Momo! Thank you. You were the hydrant. All the things. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I've drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah. I hope you have a nice night, Momo. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. I feel like I haven't heard that comparison, but I do like it. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi? He seems to have some strong opinions about this. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiling around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go again. The game is afoot. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. Or just... Stroganough's fine, I guess. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now. Hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's skin. I feel like that's not what that is, but you know. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. You sure? A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? And why? We're gonna talk about his last word. According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Ah, yes. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, which is slightly incorrect, but it's fine, we'll fix it later, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Could there be, indeed? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. Which was moving earlier. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't... It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to trade your serpent friend. Sholmes cooks, and then we fix it. To trade? These are special to the Great Ace Attorney series. They are one of a kind. And they're very weird. And sometimes you can say some pretty silly stuff if you do it wrong on purpose. Indeed, you've put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. We still miss you, Kazuma. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. What about that? Sholmes cooks. Ryunosuke fixes, and it's very fun. You will see. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Sort of. Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? Sholmes is a little special, but he's good. Yeah, he's very eccentric, but he's very good. But of course, what's on your mind? It's just, about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. Logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madam, what of the tales from Moravia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? Dang, Sholmes is folding. I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Schultz. There is one other thing. You have more? The snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. But it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. Oh, poor Sholmes. I think we just ruined his day. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Poor Sholmes, he's gonna go cry to himself when he's alone. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. He was totally just waiting for it. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Hey! Uncuffed again! Your handcuffs are gone! Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now everyone, let us begin! Again! Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. A second time. Course correction. Okay, so he is gonna say the same stuff again. Claim the following. Alright, I'm gonna save it right here. I don't think I'm necessarily gonna pick any of the wrong things on purpose. We'll see. So it stops. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look very closely at her. Well, what have we here? What else can we look at on there? I think those are our only things that we can say. Yep. Yes! And then we interrupt it. I mean, there are actual court scenes. They're just not in this chapter. Because they needed to teach you how the investigations go. But it is kind of, it is basically like that. Finding and presenting, fixing things. When you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? Yeah, it is still like making, you know, presenting evidence. The court cases in this have a couple mechanics that previous games do not. You can still press for more information, you can still present evidence to break through a testimony. Sometimes multiple people will testify at the same time, and one will say something that the other has a thought about, and you can pursue that line of thinking. and you can get more testimony out of that. And the third chapter has the jury, which you'll see that when you see it. When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I'm sad, the pain from this wound is worse. Probably, like, clean up your hand. It is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. She's gonna... wait. So we ask the nature of it. Okay, we'll save it here. This one actually has a funny one if you do it wrong. I might reload it. Looking at the snake. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. But you can... Here, I want you... This is the wrong answer, but I want you to see what it says. And then I'll reload. Oh yeah, it makes that sound. And you're wrong. Forget about how you could have brought him aboard in your case, or how he could fit through the ventilator. A true friend always finds a way for you. And what more dependable friend could you ask for than Seaman Biff Stroganoff? What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just following the natural progression of the deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. I'm gonna reload that. I thought you should see that bit. Okay, we'll pretend that didn't happen. Friend. Yeah, he got cooked. Yeah, there's another one where if you click the wrong thing, he's like, well, it's called jumping to conclusions, you see. I have many a screenshot saved of this game. There's really silly lines. What do we think she's looking at? Well, why don't we take a look at this picture? A kitty cat! Oh, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. Little kitten. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten! Goodbye with you, Naruhodo-san, for the blackest outfit. Black kitten. And from the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. Gee. Doesn't this look a little familiar, too? Yes! Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. No. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations of the night in question tell of a speckled band. While the snake is just vibing. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me! Just got it hidden. Yeah. That was the snake skin. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Don't you wonder? I mean, it's not... Can I examine it, perhaps? Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy. A long piece of cloth of some sort. And it looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. Actually, one of my cats did not like that. I feel like she was never in the mood for that. And the other one, it depended on the day. She had an attitude, that cat. They both did. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. That sounds positively adorable. Well, now I've fixed what it is. Yes! The thing you were trying with failure to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah, that does make sense. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. Oh my god. Fixed it. A truly troublesome feline, young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. It was after I gave her her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand, and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared. Through the ventilator. No. Darka, she's so naughty. We miss our kitten. On to the next one, then. He'll say the exact same thing, little meow meow. I'm gonna see, because I don't remember the exact thing. It's always good to save when there's progress. Well, Mr. Sholmes says it's true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body. Bro is just like me, for real. I can stuff up? That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Oh, I know. We'll present the thing. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing. Yes! There we go. In fact, the circumstance of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes. I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seeing Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. I love the look on Ryunosuke's face. I know, she always acts like you hit, but you know what? It's fine. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Could there be? Or could indeed. Examination of the body? I think not. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. That's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Anything from the scene that could explain what happened? I think there is, but in case I clicked the wrong thing like a fool, I'm gonna save it again. I know I have like 5 mistakes that I can make before it's over, but I like not making any. Oh. I don't mean to. Yes! Remind. An examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. And one other thing. Shoe polish? Indeed. Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I now carry as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. Can I make shoe polish? Oh. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. Yummy shoe polish, don't eat that! And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. Yummers. That is not food. No. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Considering the way you act, I think you know something. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. Somehow, I don't think it's in there. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. It's kinda cute how she flinches whenever the spotlight gets turned on her. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But... and if this part of Mr. Sholmes' seduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Well, there is a trash can. This is a waste paper basket. Ooh, there's not much in here. Hey! What's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. Oh.
Yes.
The evidence links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. You really put it in the trash. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asogi's cabin. And, as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't know. In that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be... Gee, I don't know, maybe the picture where the cat has the bell on?
Yes.
If you look at this photograph... every time... you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble... your absent feline friend, Darka. What a way to go. Man, that yes shout doesn't hit as hard as objection from Phoenix. I mean, he will have objections later. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. Deduction complete. We are nearing the end. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It's odd. I thought Stroganoff had something to say about his snake. He hasn't said anything in a while. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. Maybe I accidentally skipped it, because I didn't. I don't know. And then all of a sudden she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it? Yes. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again? By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. That has to be a long... either a really small ventilator passage or a really long cat toy. Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing... She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... Oh god. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then... with such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Burya is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, a combination of unfortunate factors can easily have caused him to fall over. Kazuma, no! Well, what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again. Don't lock your kittens in your suitcases, by the way. I feel like that is a bad decision. Gracious, the cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself, at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. Why not just use a cage? I mean, if she had used a normal cage, though, then you could see that it was a cat. She wasn't supposed to bring the cat with her. It was a whole thing. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it? And where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? He's just petting it. Now Kazuma is gone. I know. Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Pirosco. Look at him. Huh? What? Do you remember before he had the snake on his face, he had, like, marks from it? I don't think we commented on the fact that his face looked a little funny. But you could see, like, the marks from the snake around his head. A snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. We were at sea for 1 year. You wanted to be so long without close friend? Without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human? Who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake? Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Huh? Pirosco does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny. That's the line I was thinking of. It's venomless? Yes. Now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, he will see big smile. Who comes up with these ideas anyway? Oh. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Like they say, milk chickens? Milk chickens. Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pirosco eats mouses. Big, fat, round mouses. Ah. Oh, so... is that what the mouse trap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk, it can't hear a whistle, it can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? Oh, bye, Sholmes. It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Perosko has nothing to do with this incident. It really has actually nothing to do with this incident. I mean, bro is making sense. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. There's one other thing we haven't discussed yet. Well, two things, technically. Miss Pavlova. I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then who's going to be behind bars now? Then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. What are you talking about, Miss Mikotova? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. There are two things about this that don't quite fit. I don't know that anyone's necessarily going behind bars for this. It was just a series of unfortunate events. An accident. Is that all, though? I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Dang, Susato is cooking now. I know! I just think someone in chat doesn't like her. He's wrong. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. Oh my goodness, our friend in Scotland Yard. I hope you guys like them. I'm only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. And then they are again. Not again! When did he do that? Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes, Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even. This is true. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. And yes, his headband was always moving like that for some reason. We said it was because of his aura. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Let's do this thing. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to save it in case I misspell it. I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts of Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. Okay, I'm gonna actually save it right here, in case I'm wrong. I think it's a crime scene photograph, though. Because, if he tripped over the cat and died, then what's this Russian word doing here? Yes! The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese, in this case. What? Well, maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. It's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. I mean, does it say that his death was instant? Oh, not that. Listen. Instant death, yeah. Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Okay. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death? Huh. What do you know? Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So, Susato-san has noticed it too, then? I haven't. Good. Said half a bell? Back is only half of the bell? Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives the truth away, and I need to save before I blow it. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words, I feel like it was the bell half. Yes! This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. Yeah, but it's one half. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Ah. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that waste paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? No. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. I can't do the big cha, so I never do. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's... You're wasting time. Someone else was there? Ah, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Me, probably. Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. Are we sure? And only other person in cabin when young student died was you. Yes! I find that to be incorrect. It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor, as I saw the big note on it, in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor, for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. I'd find it a bit flawed that she only took half, but that's fine. If she hadn't taken only one piece, then we would not be here now. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Holding it. See? You can see the pattern on his face where the snake tends to hang out. Seaman Stroganoff. If Stroganoff. Beef Stroganoff? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. She was? Man, you do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. He finally put down his snake, and now he had those marks beforehand, too. We saw him earlier, and he had the same marks on his face. But that is not responsible. I give my tooth. My tooth? Well, this is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? I mean, it's not something that, like, anyone had talked about. It's not even something I really thought about much until I had played the game the first time. But I have played this game a few times, so... This does not mean I am above looking at, like, a walkthrough when I don't know. And I don't want to look stupid. So, the walkthrough of shame. You're a great detective, you should know. Because of the door. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Well, except the cat. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors. Yet, it's impossible. No. He's right. But he's wrong. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. There is a way, though. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... Susato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So Seaman Stroganoff is a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind. I have in mind, haven't been used before. Words. Basically, we can see the proof of the thing, and I can't read. I don't believe it. She's an idiot. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. You really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Go. Without the telling signs. Well, there is. I can't examine that. Because if I... Hang on. Hang on. I was hoping it had the... That does not. I'll have to just present. I think it's the stuff that's tipped over. Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel, after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? It's quite the book. Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. A bolt on that door. It was very obvious just after the emergency stops that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... Look at that. Anybody in there? Oh yes! That's it! When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed? The door locked it on its own? The SS Burya made another emergency stop? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. Dang, that's crazy. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. But there is another loose end here. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You're in much trouble now. Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. I can't believe this, man. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. Not great if you're not in your cabin when that happens. I understand his thought, though. Right? Big red button. You gotta push it. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop? Or did it not? You were idiots. Burya is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? What evidence indeed? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. Yes! The ship's log, maybe? Seaman Stroganov, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? Duh, that is correct. Why? And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase, "nothing to report," every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log? That is... duh, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write, "nothing to report," wouldn't you? Oh. Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Burya. Like an emergency stop, maybe? Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish! If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh? Why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed? That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. Unless... What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We all have suffered with it. Ah? Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right. My head's been throbbing today too. We talked about that earlier. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Ah, well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes. In fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Thinking it might be. My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? Something wrong with the chimkin? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. Not the chimkin. A sleeping drug? We are all eepy. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes meant. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes? Well, Seaman? Because she boarded the ship last night, right? But we don't know when exactly? But that doesn't quite line up, technically speaking. With the door and such. I'm sorry to say that more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, will be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You're right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. We could not make all drug, how you say, dissolve? Ugh. Talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with a small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who disliked chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. Wait, if that was the case, then why didn't he stop eating it? I don't know. So the plot could happen? Because he was hungry? And if that means it would have been possible for you, you could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Oh, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway, and so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You've talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in his attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. What? I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. Sholmes sure knows how to cook. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am a sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? Girl? I'm quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. Ah, thank you for the resub, Tolvir. I got the internet turned back on. I thought you slept, not gonna lie. You disappeared to go to sleep. I just knew you disappeared at some point. Welcome back. Thank you for the resub. We are almost at the end of this. I was hoping we didn't have to do one more logic and reasoning spectacular because I am hungry, but we are at the end, so I'm gonna finish it, and then I can have dinner. Oh. I am glad you were still here. Also, thank you for using a fragment of your paycheck on me. Also, I'd like to apologize. What for? Just as I said. Observation. If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? Because of that, I missed these. Hello. Thank you for the reminder. Should really call the posture check one, like, unshrimp yourself. Also, thank you for the head pats. They're one of my favorite things. By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death, what we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was involved was there when it happened. Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Should have been hourly, but I missed my marks. Oh, it's okay. I think it happened around the hour mark anyways. I was just about to joke that the Rain has the shrimp posture on her computer. No. I have a shrimp emote. I have two, actually. Let's see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Okay. Save in case I blow it. see what we see. Just someone else is there at the scene. There's not a lot I can look at. Man, I can't look at any of the court record things. Is her earring important? Ah, hey.
Yes.
I think it's this. It's not that. I need to examine it. Hold on. I'm sad. Why? Why are you sad? We need to examine that more closely. Can I look at it? Alright, sometimes you gotta click the thing. Just petite ears among that beautiful hair. What's that? There's something attached to her ear. Ah, I expect that's what's called an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Can I go? Because it's not that. Oh. Has such small ears. Something dangling from her ear. The earring. The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. Charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love adornments like that. They are cute earrings. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers. I actually have an earring. You can see it sometimes. No. Oh, Marazinski. Well, jewelry is beautiful, Naruhodo-san. It's true. So what else can I examine? It's not anything on this table. It's about the two of them. Can I see anything about his chunky arms? He has arms like tree trunks, doesn't he? Hairy tree trunks. Yes, he certainly has sailor's arms. He's a born man of the sea. Even if I had been awake, I couldn't have done anything about being dragged out of that wardrobe by this man. Naruhodo-san? Are you alright? You seem to be lost in thought. Oh, sorry. Blame those hairy tree trunks. Well, go? Do I have to examine it again? Go? It's not anything in the background. I don't think there's anything else I can examine about them. They're just gonna be the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. So I go up, I presented this. I need to know what it was first. Or is it the left one?
Yes.
You gotta do the thing again? Yep, it is. Son of a... My foolishness. Heck. Because I don't remember seeing anything like that. But it's... Can I... What happens if I do that one? It also breaks. What? What am I not looking at? That's the thing, is we didn't... Hang on. Something stupid. I know there's something dumb. I know I am the dumb one. I'm sorry. Don't look at my shame. I wonder if somebody was there. Was the only... Oh, hey. Yeah. How about that?
Yes.
I am the fool. Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes. I I don't know where the dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? I thought there was something about her earring being broken, but I guess I am the fool. What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of this stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. I'm sorry for being dumb. The very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform. And I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. Alright then. It should just be the... Oh, I can save it again. Oh. It should just be the crime scene photo. Because that is the only thing with the ink in it. Yep. Yep. Yes! Yes! And we go. It's this photograph and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Ah. Ah, the penny drops. At last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. How you got it there? Don't yell at me. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained that your uniform in that way. Which means... you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilled. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Burya do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. If, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Shaking my head, I can't believe it. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. Biff. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor. Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers? Only to find his occupant lying lifeless on the floor. My dog has left the room. Hopefully she comes back. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked. So she opened to look, and you already know what happened after. This all happened due to Pavlova's little meow meow punished the owner. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? What is thing? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened door of student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Why does Russian look like this? It is just sometimes they write it like that, and sometimes they write it like not that. I don't know why. It's like in the first trial when they had the exchange student speaking English. It's just like a really fancy looking font. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. Hi, Luna Pop! Welcome back, Luna Pop! Hello! Stretchy doggo. What are you doing? I was scared. Hey. You see her? What are you doing? What are you doing, Doubles? I understand. And I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Yeah, I hope so. Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. An unfortunate incident that precipitated these events? A kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, those are the facts. There is one particular area in this photograph. It seems to me as somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? I'm gonna look at her really quick. I mean, it is a fact that it's... Because I think there's ink on his finger. But it could also be that his other hand is closed. Which is a bit odd. What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Huh? Oh, well... Kinda sus. Do that thing I do? If Kazuma had tripped and fell and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, part of this photographic print seems unnatural. I feel like it's this one. I feel like it's this, but I could be wrong. Yes! Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Why would I keep you in suspense? Make my stream longer? Ah. So, see, I was just so early for that. This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? Well, I gasp. Exactly. It tells us nothing. You sure? I think it tells us something. Looks familiar somehow. Sure, I've seen it somewhere before. I'm sure I looked at it many times on accident when I should have been looking for something else because I am blind. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. Yep. Better want me to click on the one with the broken earring, but in case you don't... What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's closed fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe. Find the answer with your own eyes. I accidentally found it too soon. Do I need to, like, notice the fact that it's missing? Tiny earring, indeed. How she wouldn't notice that that got torn off, I'm not sure. Like, when you wear long earrings, which I don't do very often, yes! You notice if something is pulling on it. Miss Pavlova, I noticed on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding it on must have broken, I suppose. Eh? What? But looking at your other ear, I notice a crescent moon. Shockingly like the other one in my hand. I don't believe it. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. I would indeed. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Sogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Oh. Oh, we're about there. We're almost there. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, a fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship.
Beans?
Beans? Spill the beans. I don't actually like most beans. Edamame beans, though, I make an exception. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day... Meow. Darka, wait! Darka, no! You never do see the cat that I can think of. I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Darka would not come back. Oh, what are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Of course Darka is the imposter. Oh no. Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Ah! Ah, of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? He was looking at the wardrobe because he wanted to ask Ryunosuke about it. Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but felt like forever. Wait, I shouted, and then... Oh. Dark had jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. No, Kazuma, yep. I know, that was what I thought at the beginning of this chapter. I was very upset when I read this story. And that's when you went to fetch help? From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I hear Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door? Yes. I went into cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body into good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote, I cannot read that, wardrobe, so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished job. By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway? Yes. Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. And it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? That he needed a second opinion. Fine. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, that. I was thinking about the... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but... he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? The day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take in that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? Again. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, if there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at?
Take that!
Wardrobe. Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as if Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? And, more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion. Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. That is the kind of guy Kazuma was. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. Because Ryunosuke was a stowaway, he was not supposed to be going on this study trip to Britain. So Kazuma put him in his suitcase and snuck him on board. That's why he was in the wardrobe all the time. That's why he never left the room, even if he got to come out of the wardrobe. Things may have ended very differently if you had. I don't think I read the thing that she said before that. I wish you made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. My bad. Words. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But, unfortunately, I understand, but bruh. The truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry too. What have I done? And so at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Burya was finally laid to rest. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Repatriate or repatriate? I don't know. Expatriate. Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganov? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost a good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. Aye! In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste. But, well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh. Duh, indeed. Yatta! Also, his glasses are remarkably whole, and his face is remarkably okay again. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. A reasonably happy ending. Well, I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. There is a tiny bit more still. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun then. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Don't cry. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. Don't be sad. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now... Now we know the truth. It was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. It is indeed. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector, my duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. The Inspector's a good... And I'm free again now, at least. Huh? Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo? Is a stream alive? I think so. Ah. What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry. So I decided to restore them. For old time's sake, shall we say? You are a stowaway, after all. Sholmes, man. He thinks this is funny? Mr. Sholmes. We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. I know it's a little late. May I offer my sincere condolences? A lot late. We solved the murder, but okay. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. All in favor of either throwing Sholmes off the ship or have Sholmes be in cuffs too. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be 1 lawyer and 1 assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no. I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is 1 lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. What? Hello! Thank you for the raid! I do not recognize you. How is your stream? What? Help! Everybody is raiding me at the same time! Hello, Noir! Okay. To all our new friends, hello, hello. My name is Rain. I am a lunar goddess VTuber. And I am just... We're almost done with my stream as well. We are playing The Great Ace Attorney. I think I said what kind of VTuber I am. If I forgot, I apologize. We had a stream together, collab, so we came over together. Thank you for trusting me with your chat, you guys. I hope you had a good stream. How was it, by the way? It looks like you were streaming Gundam Breaker 4, which I am not familiar with. Should I say Stowaway? Fun with mechas. Yay. I should really maybe get invested in Gundam sometime. Maybe someday it'll happen. I'm an addict and I might have a problem I have no intent to fix. People of culture. ZZ has friends. I'm glad it was fun. If you guys have to raid and run, I understand. Go ahead and take a break, get food. I hope it is a nice evening. Thank you for the follow. Gundam Breaker is really fun to play. I will try to remember that. Actually, if I forget, ZZ can remind me. Or Noir can remind me. But yeah, they both see me around a lot. But thank you both for the raids. I was raided by so many people today. Don't I feel special? But we're working on The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're at the end of the 2nd chapter. Qualifications. Get it at a discount, not worth full price. Some games are like that. It's only a problem if you make it a problem. Tomir is correct. Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Preach. Miss Susato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? Well, no, I'm not, but for the next month I will be. I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. I have an addiction to feed, so I'm gonna hop off. Thank you again for the raid, Noir. I hope I will see your art again sometime soon. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. I feel like a month is not enough time to learn how to be a lawyer, but it's fine. Yeah! Mr. Naruhodo. That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody can learn all of that in just 40 days? Speedrun mode. There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if, by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He never quite told us what that thing was, but it's fine. We all like a good mystery. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit, too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato? Yay! I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. Numbers are indisputable. Susato, Ryunosuke, are you sure this is what Kazuma wanted? Ryunosuke, prepared. No, he would not commit crimes. No, no, no. It's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Oh, he is a good being. He is a good boy. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector. After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. Inspector Hosonaga is great. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder... Would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? Hosonaga is chillin' coded. Hosonaga is amazing. I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Asogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Miss Susato, seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. She, can throw you across the room, and did a few times. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and oh, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times. That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No. I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique. Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. Leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I'm a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Oh no, she's gonna throw me again, isn't she? Yes, I'd be honored. Oh dear. But let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Sholmes is no match for Susato. True. As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was a Susato squash. She has her own whole technique going. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Kazuma? Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. Poor Ryunosuke, an actual punching bag for the people around him. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Off to London. Well, that's next chapter. I'm not doing that tonight, man. That's next week. We'll start that. We are finally at the chapter end. We made it. Oh my god, the adventure of the runaway room, which we're not doing today. Yay, we did it. We made it. It was interesting. Isn't this game cool? I love this game. I love this game a lot. But let me take a look. Wow. Way more people hanging out than I expected. Thank you for lurking, you guys. I am gonna raid somebody. Time to throw Susato. No, we never throw Susato. We like Susato. Oh, Tolver. Tolver just did the thing. But I will be live again on Saturday morning. It might be a little bit late. I don't know. I do have to work Saturday morning. I will try to be on time. Thank you, guys. She was the one who wanted it. We still don't throw Susato. No. That is not what you do. I will see you Saturday.